You know the deal. Good luck to both sides. Let's hope we crush them. And there we are, first game on Kairos Junction Ladder Edition. In the top left corner, playing for the Platinum Heroes, it's their admin, Juvator. And down in the bottom right, playing in blue with the Terran pieces, it's Akkarin. But without Buildorder. So both players are around the same MMR. This is like a difference of maybe at most 100 MMR. So I think Akkarin is a little bit higher, or at least he was at the end of last week, where we set the MMR for every player to get the matchups right. So he should be a small favorite here in this game, but nothing is too hard to tell in this in this MMR range. 100 is just not that much anymore. You can just go and win. Obviously, one is a little bit favored, but 100 is not that much. So far, we have standard openings here on both sides. Juvator going for his head first into gas pool, like almost every Zerg does in the early game. And on the other side, we see for Akkarin, normal Reaper fast expansion with no gas first, but barracks first, so not too much aggression here as well on his side. Command center is being constructed. And the only thing a little bit abnormal here for Akkarin was the SCV scout so far. Even though more and more players do this these days, it's still not the stock standard style of Terran. Just a little bit of losing economy for getting safety, which is fine. It's not too hard. And yeah, Juvator also sent out a drone early here to safely take his third, even while the Reaper arrives. Akkarin is chilling with the Reaper at the other third base location and starts to shoot at this Overlord, while Juvator already built third base, while the Reaper just chills. So this Reaper will not do anything about apart from scouting now. He sees, okay, there's the creep tumor, there's the queen and two lings. He hops up into the main, tries to see if gas is still being mined. He should have been able to see that there is not that much gas mined, and he gets out and scouts the third base as well. So everything good from both sides so far. No errors, no losses. Everything is cool. Well, no losses apart from this one poor Overlord, which is actually quite a big deal. Killing the first Overlord on the side of Terran. Not only does Juvator not have scouting infers at the front, he has lost a very early Overlord, so spent 100 minerals he was not planning to spend there. And the second thing now is, he has to send in the second Overlord now to scout what's going on, because usually you see if there are Hellions or Marines parked up here. Now he has to send the Overlord in, and luckily for him, Akkarin is not seeing that, otherwise he would have lost the second Overlord. Akkarin on his side now gets a full scout, once again sees full saturated natural mineral line, a baneling nest just on the way. So he knows he is safe, there is no aggression coming right now. Juvator already banking up some minerals here. Probably due to his queen standing here guarding against the Reaper and not injecting right now. His creep threat is starting to look quite good now. He has already connected his bases, which at 4.5 minutes on Kairos is not that easy. And he's going for Overlord speed. So he's playing the safe style here, going for much scouting info early on. Second poke in here with the Overlord. Very active with his scouting so far. He's the second factory being added. So he probably knows, okay, this is a max style. Or at least a battle max style. But so far he has not seen the armory. He now scouts it. And the Hellbat push with some Marauders and the Liberator is already here. And Juvator has only 7 Zerglings. So we will lose a lot of drones here. And we'll probably lose the hatch now as well, because he was not ready at all for this push. So was I, to be fair. I was looking at the stand of the place of the game here for a Zerg player. And wasn't looking at what the Terran was doing behind this. And even though Juvator scouted in very actively with his Overlord over and over, he did not scout the armory, which was placed back in the natural, which is the best possible spot for this after he killed the first Overlord. So scouting this was very hard. Akkarin did a really big amount of damage. As you can see, he is ahead in workers by quite a big margin now. And the third base for Juvator is just now finishing. There is a Spire tag now, which is quite nice. But there are no upgrades so far for a Zerg player, and +1 for the mech units is already done. Third base is on the way, more and more factories are getting added. Scan here reveals nothing. No real info. Oh, Juvator. And saturated the gases. But again, he has no force on the way right now. This time the Reaper will get killed. No more scouting info. He hasn't seen the Spire yet. So the Spire in this situation can be a game changer in both directions. If Akkarin realizes it's a Spire and reacts to it in time, the Spire will do nothing and Juvator will just straight up lose. If he does not realize it's a Spire and there are Mutalisks all over his mech army, because mech armies usually don't have that much anti-air, he will lose his army, which will reset the game or probably even win the game for Juvator here. But in the production tab we already see a Thor, and we already have a Viking and 2 Liberators, which are not ideal against air, but they still have anti-air. And the push is on his doorstep now, and so far it's only 3 Mutas in production. Ooh, the splitting, oh, the splitting was not very good here. Almost all of the Hellbats die, and the tank will die as well. The nice hold here for Juvator. Still losing his entire army, and now that's the biggest error here. He reveals that he has Mutas. In the meantime, a Hellion run by here in the natural, but drones are getting pulled away in time, so no damage there as well. But still, Akkarin knows about the Mutas now, so he can prepare, and there is no element of surprise anymore. And we should see some anti-air being built here by Akkarin soon. So far he has only 1 Thor, but I think he will add like 2 or 3 more and move out with 3 or 4 Thors then with his next push. At least that's what he should do. So far he's just expanding. He is still ahead in economy. He is ahead on upgrades. He knows what his opponent is doing, so he has everything in place he needs. Even a sensor tower now here to prevent run-bys at his third. But so far he's just building tanks, which I don't disagree with. While you are defensive, tanks are more important now because you have turrets. And 1 Thor with repair can kill almost infinite amounts of Mutas. But as he wants to move out, he needs more Thors now. So let's hope he does not move out without them. Even though it's only 3 Mutas right now, which is just the case because Juvator doesn't know what his opponent is exactly doing. What are we playing against? Oh! Yeah, sorry guys. I forgot to change one thing. Thanks for the information there, No Name Freak. Fixed now. Okay, so back to the game. You see a small Ling run by here. Thors are being added, by the way, now. So exactly what he was supposed to do. 2 Lings are getting in here. They're very annoying now because Akkarin has to send almost his entire army up here. Or he could have just sent 1 Hellion, but he sends his entire army. Now the Thors are popping, and we will probably see a big push now with the first Thors. 10 tanks are out, 4 Thors are out, almost 5 Thors. And yeah, the only bad thing one could say about this army right now is there are not many Hellions or Hellbats, which are usually the buffer for this kind of army. So it's a lot of tanks, it's a good amount of Thors, so he has the backbone of his army, but the meat in front, not there to tank. So if Juvator gets a very good engagement here, he might be just able to get onto the tanks. But this position back here behind the rocks is so strong for a mech army. Zoom out a bit. You see Juvator tries to go for a flank right now. Comes here from 2 angles. But in the back there are so many tanks. The tank line goes a long way. Akkarin now sieges tanks. He's losing the tanks in the back, but there are still more and more. And now he has no support from the front here, Juvator that is. And his entire army dies against all of those siege tanks, which are now chipping away at the 3rd base. Juvator has rebuilt a base over here, but he has lost his army. You can see in the supply he's very far behind right now. And Akkarin is reinforcing with tanks this time, which is very nice. He has lost a lot of tanks. He still has his Thors, which are just blocking Mutas. So if you see 4 Thors in an army, you don't build Mutas as a Zerg player. So very nice composition here by Akkarin. He's now pulling back. He doesn't know about this base, but he does know about this base having been rebuilt. Now he finds the army unsieged, which is the best case scenario here for Juvator. Akkarin needs to siege the tanks in the back. He loses all of his Thors right now, which is very, very bad, because now Mutas are an option again. But still, there is a big loss here for Akkarin, losing all of those units, getting punished because he was straight up moving through enemy territory, because there still was creep. And this is a situation where Hellions would have done the job. If you have like 15 Hellions here with the army and the Zerg just moves in, the Hellions with Blue Flame clear that up, because this is just light units, Hydra Lingbane. But the fact that Akkarin only had tanks left, because there were a little too few Hellions in the start, just meant, okay, your army gets cleaned up now, and you have to restart. Now he waltz in his Thor, which is very, very unfortunate here. I don't think the Thor can fit through here. And he hasn't realized so far that he needs to open this up. He had some more Hellions, so looks like he has realized that his army was just tech units and no meat. But still, there is a depot, and the depot is down. Now Akkarin has sieged a lot of his tanks. He gets a very nice trade on the top side of the fight, but on the bottom side the Zerg just rolls over and Akkarin loses his entire tank force again. It's a very, very huge deal here, and still there are tanks back here, there are units up here, a tank over here. So he has units, but they're just not grouped. Nothing too bad so far happened to Akkarin's economy. He is still on his normal kind of basis. He's on 4, taking hit 5th. Having another CC back here. But your Juvator has his greatest bar done. There is, at the moment, there is no answer for Broodlords. But Akkarin at least has 2 starports. So he can start to build units against brutes. And so far there are no brutes, there are not even corruptors. because Juvator's economy just got filled up. He was down in economy for a long time here, so he had to cut some corners, but he got away with it because he got two good fights in a row. And now here we see the army of Akkarin tanks being sieged again. This is where you cannot push in with your Hydra force. Now we see Corruptors being added, so Broodlords is the next step. And Akkarin doesn't know about the main base. In fact, he hasn't even scouted since Lair got started. So all he does is playing against a general Zerg, what Zergs usually do. Nice position here, by the way, with the tanks behind the wall. Not easy to push in there. Juvator realizes that, tries to defend the Hellion run by on the top. Now he saw a Corruptor. If he paid attention, he was here with his camera. If he paid attention, he saw a Corruptor pop. And we instantly see Vikings being started, more and more Thors being started, so he knows there are Broodlords in the way. Nice timing here with the Hellion run by to see exactly what was popping there, so that he can now prepare. Very nice first game so far. Roots are being revealed right now. Nice clearing of the creep in the middle of the map here. First Hellions. Cannot push in here with your Hydras. That's not possible. This location behind the wall is just so strong. Now, where is his anti-air? Just moves the tanks back, which allows the Hydras to move in now. But here are the Thors. Thors are here, and Thors are targeting the Brutes. But the Hydras on the bottom side are just pushing in, getting a lot of kills on the siege tanks. The Brutes will get killed. All of the Brutes. Looks like all of them get cleared. The Hydra force is still a lot bigger than it should be at this point. But the nicely placed siege tank over here and over here is still getting a lot of kills. So this force is getting cleaned up. But both players lost their entire army. And usually it's the Zerg player who can rebuild faster. So all in all, this trade was not bad for a Zerg player. As you can see in the resources lost down here, those players have lost almost the exact same amount of resources, so very even game so far. Those players have the same bank, or almost the same bank as well. Yeah, so very nice so far. And the Brutes are revealed now. So Akkarin needs to balance his army to match the amount of Broodlords and the amount of ground army that the Zerg player has. And so far, your Juvator is going all gas into his Brutes, so he's going up to 9 Broodlords right now. He'll probably go to 10. And 90 Zerglings behind this. So 90 Zerglings are just very much. So you need tanks and you need Hellbats. You have Hellbats, Zerglings do nothing. Hellbats with a +3 attack, which is what he has. One-shot Zerglings with Blue Flame. So he now uses his Hellbats, Hellions for a run by. He sees Zerglings soon arriving over there, and you can take a look. What those Hellbats will do to these things. It's ridiculous. Look at it. Just look at it. If you have like 10 Hellbats in the army, you kill so many Zerglings. This was like 30 Zerglings dying to 2 Hellbats. Imagine this in a big fight. That's ridiculous. Okay, Juvator is going for more and more Brutes, but Akkarin on the other side has 14 Vikings and is going up to 11 Thors. So this is a mech army you will never want to face. It's just so freaking strong. More of the Hellion. No! Those were Hellions, not Hellbats. But still, no Brutes in here. The Broodlords are still over there, and almost his entire ground support died. Akkarin should really build more Hellions. He needs some Hellions. Just have like 6 Hellions, and Zerglings are not a big problem at all. In fact, they're not even any problem then. Another run by over here. So no free economy in the corners for a Zerg player. The question is, what does Akkarin do? Is he moving out? Which looks like he does. And if he does so, will he get caught unsieged again? He got caught unsieged 2 times already. But this time, this position up here would be really good for his tanks. If he gets 1 or 2 tanks over here, he can very easily siege this base. And Vikings on top will get the Broodlords killed, which looks like the exact thing he's doing. He's moving the Vikings over here, killing the Broods. Okay, so having 2 tanks over here would be now the exact thing he should do. Full tanks in front, and then start sieging. Put your Thors over here, your Vikings over here, and start sieging this base. This is what he should do, but it looks like he's moving over. Gets another smaller Zergling force. Maybe he was just waiting for his +2 air weapons. Now the Zerg is pushing in here. This ground force is just not a factor anymore. And now the Broodlords are showing up. But the air battle is won by Akkarin as well as the ground battle. So very nice army composition here by Akkarin. Juvator lost patience and tried to push in, and therefore lost the big fight that decided this first game in the clan war. So both players are ready. Game is about to start. Let's go! So, first game was a very, very long, drawn-out game, Mech versus Zerg, which started off very nice for Akkarin with a snipe on the third base with his help at Marauder push. He then got another nice push on the new third base when Juvator had his 4th and 5th already built. He killed the base, he did a lot of damage to the army. But then as he pulled back, he lost almost his entire tank count, which reset the game here for Juvator and allowed both players to hit the ultimate macro game, where Akkarin just had air dominance with a lot of Thors and Vikings and a few small amount of tanks to clear the ground support, to clear all of the Broodlords, which then won him the game. And here we are now on New Repugnancy, and we have in the bottom left corner playing as Zerg in the red color. It's for the team Platinum Heroes, Juvator. And down in the top right corner, playing in blue, playing for without Buildorder, it's Akkarin, who by the way was a former Protoss player. He switched, I think, like 2 or 3 months ago to Terran. He was Protoss earlier, and yeah, he's at the same level now with Terran as he was with Protoss before. Quite a nice swap he did there. Okay, as this game starts to wrap up, or to ramp up, rather, I would like to use the time to remind you, everyone who's new to the stream, thanks for watching, by the way. And if you like what you see, it would be really appreciated if you hit the follow button and tune in the next time I'm gonna be streaming. I'm a Master 2 Zerg player. I'm streaming my own ladder games with commentary and match analysis after the games. Yeah, commentary is some days more, some days less. Depends on how hard the games are. The harder the game, the less I commentate. But I try to analyze after the game then. In addition to that, I'm usually casting clan wars like this on this channel in English. And I'm also casting some leagues or games of our internal clan league. We have 2 divisions in our clan league. 1 division for Platinum and low diamond players, and 1 division for diamond and master players. And yeah, I'm usually casting some highlight games of this on the stream, and I will also start casting the playoff games from this league. We are just now in week number 3, and next game on Sunday, next week on Sunday, I will cast some of the highlight games of the first 3 weeks. Yeah. So if you like what you see, hit the follow button. If you really like what you see and want to support me even more, feel free to leave a subscription over here. You can use your Twitch Prime sub in this channel or a regular sub, whatever you want. Twitch Prime is free. The regular one costs a little bit of money, but yeah, nothing is mandatory. If you like what you see, I would appreciate. Back to the game now. We saw Akkarin almost killed a drone with his Reaper earlier, but yeah, not that much. He got, apart from that, he got the Reaper art, and he got full scouting info, so he saw the third base being constructed on time. Now the Reaper is chilling over here, and behind this we see Hellions, and now a Cloak Banshee after the first Liberator. I think he cancelled the... Yeah, he cancelled the Liberator after the Overlord Scout left his base, so... Very nice style there. Here barracks in the corner. Juvator hasn't seen the Hellion so far, so nice. Akkarin seems to know the vision range of Overlords on this high ground. Just keeps his Hellions out of vision, so the Terran doesn't know too much. And this we see an armory again, so we will probably see a Halberd timing with Banshee support this time, which is very strong on this map when you approach from this angle. Come from the high ground, it's very hard to attack from for the Zerg up here. Usually there's late creep spread as well. So we see another big round of drones here for Juvator right as the Hellions and the Banshee move out. And I actually don't know if he saw that. Now he sees. And the Halberds, the armory is already done now. Creep tumor will get cleared, so no creep up here. The first queen dies. And the second queen gets hit immediately. Cloak is done. So Akkarin can save the Banshee now. Halberds can get morphed now. He dies. A lot of Zerglings die, and the Hellions now decide to drive along, get in here, and do even more damage. Let's zoom out a bit. You can see the Zerglings that will come from over here. He still hasn't morphed them to Halberds, which would be really nice in this position over here. Halberds would do even more damage, but now as he gets this drone line here, okay, the Hellion gets surrounded in the last possible second. Still we have a Banshee. And yeah, Juvator decides to tap out. Fast GG this time. Way too much damage here for Akkarin, which leads to a quick 2-0 now after a long first game. The second was really fast. But again, nice game here for Juvator.